All right, how are you doing? My name is Franklin Cruz. I'm a real estate investor and real estate developer. I make these videos so number one, you guys don't get scammed by somebody who is not in the business. There's a lot of people that talk about being in the business, and there's another thing of people actually being in the business. So let's get started. Why shouldn't I sell my home over the phone or without a proper evaluation, right? Hopefully you don't have a phone that size. If you do, Jesus, Lord, you must have your clothing must be tiny. So it's important to meet face-to-face if somebody's evaluating a property. I just want you to think about it. If somebody that you're talking to over the phone, and let's say they have money, right? Do you really think somebody's going to make an offer on $100 or $200 or $300 or $500,000 offer, sight unseen? I'll wait. Hell no. No. What they're doing is, this is how the scam works. They get you over the phone. They're going to tell you a number, any number, to actually get you to sign an agreement without them ever going to the property. This is what I call laziness, and these are what I call scam artist investors. So they are scamming you, they're an artist at it, and they're investors, and they're trained to do it because there's no proper training other than certified true investors that I train specifically under true investors. We train to meet you face to face. We show them how to actually go through a 50-point evaluation of the actual property to say, okay, now here is after the evaluation. And then we sit down with you and go over the actual appraisal of the property, teaching you how we're coming up with the evaluation minus the cost, even if it's land or homes. These individuals are not doing that. So many buyers, if you're looking over the phone, they're just trying to lock it up. So you always want to make sure that that buyer sees the property. Hey, when are you coming to the property? When are you evaluating the property? Then, if they give you a fair offer that makes sense, great. For us, we always say the same thing. Look, if you call us or if you go to our website right now and you say, Frank, I'm ready to sell my property, man. I'm ready to go. Let's move forward. You know, the first thing I'm saying, look, first, what's the number? What's the number? Because I don't want to waste any time. So if we both agree upon that number, you're willing to sign a contract today. Is that correct? Yes, Franklin, I'm ready to sign a contract today. If that's the number, great. I'll go to the property and we'll see if the numbers make sense. If they don't, I'll tell you why. If they do, we can sign. If I could pay more, I have. I have actually helped individuals. It was a couple of individuals. The last one was Mr. Barbara Stewart or Mrs. Barbara Stewart and Mr. Jimmy Stewart. They had a property. He wanted to sell it for $450,000. I looked at the property. He's a former Vietnam vet. Great guy. He's going through a situation. Older gentleman, had cancer. And I just said, sir, I think we could sell this property for $600,000. So instead of me buying the property and making the extra delta or the difference in that profit, what I did is I helped him with the situation, and we just made, I think it was like a $5,000 fee or $8,000 fee, but then he kept $100,000+ more dollars than what he thought he could sell the property for. So every situation is different. You just never know, okay? So that's what I would do then. Again, if they are only doing a deal over the phone, hang up, scam artists. If they are willing to actually go to the property, evaluate the property, and make you a fair offer, like a man or woman should as an adult, right? Then you guys work out a deal and do it up, right? Okay, next one. What if I receive multiple offers? How do I choose the best one? That's great. It's like finding money underneath the carpet, right? So price is important, and you should always consider that. But my biggest thing that I always look at, and as I get older, I understand this, is the ability to close is huge. So does the buyer have the ability to close quickly without any kind of hidden contingencies or lowering the price? You don't really know, right? So you've got to ask, does this person have credibility? Does this person actually know what they're doing? And if they do, then you want to make sure that that offer is clear and concise and simple. To me, anything past a 3-page contract is too large, and there's so much mumbo jumbo legal stuff that can get you, what I call the gotchas. I don't personally like moving forward with that, right? I want it simple, concise. How much am I actually buying it for? Who's the buyer? Who's the seller? When are we closing? You're buying it for X. No fees involved or fees involved. Who's the title company? What's their phone number? I want to call them up. When, if anything sideways happens, what's that? Due diligence period, any kind of special provisions, just clear and plain language. There's no reason to complicate it. That's it. So that's how I would look at the deal. And if you got multiple offers, again, take the best one that you feel is going to be able to close. You could take the highest one. The only thing is, what if that highest one doesn't close and now you just lost all these other people just because you were wanting more money, but it just didn't work out? Why do some buyers back out? Mistalking here. Why do some buyers back out at the last moment? Well, I look at it as a marriage. Why is it that some marriages don't work, right? Right when they get to the podium and the pastor's there and they're just like, yes, I'm ready to go. And then the woman is like, I'm out. It's like, I'm done. I'm out, and they run for it, right? So you just don't know, right? You have no idea. So they back out. Some buyers don't feel they fully understand the property's needs, right? So some buyers do that. I personally do my best to communicate, and our company is taught to be 100% transparent. Something comes up, we let you know. We just had a situation. They just changed the zoning for getting permits on a roof for manufactured homes in Polk County. So now in Polk County, you have to get, even if it's normal shingles, this is not even a metal roof. In Polk County specific, if you have a manufactured home, you have to get a structural engineer to sign off on the shingles, even if you're buying them from Lowe's, that those shingles can go on that manufactured home. So now more time, more cost for something, to me, is stupid, because shingles are shingles. If they're approved product and they're selling it at Lowe's and it's just approved product, you should be good to go, right? But now that takes extra time and extra costs that I didn't even know, so now I got to bring it up to you. What if the buyer didn't do the proper inspection? Or what if they do an inspection and that inspection turns out, hey, your subfloor is falling apart. So now, because that subfloor is falling apart, we're not going to be able to actually move forward on the deal. That's huge as well. So, or they take their time, they evaluate it, tell you everything up front. Hopefully there's no surprises. Or if there is surprises, they communicate with you. That's how I would do it. All right, so how do I protect myself from contract loopholes? So this is how I look at it. How do you protect yourself? So how you protect yourself is pretty simple. First of all, hopefully you've got somebody like this that is taking care of you, right? So number one, work with a buyer that provides clear terms and a straightforward agreement. We want to ensure that everything is laid out so there's no confusion and there's no hidden fees at all. So that's how I would do it, okay? So next one. Oh, sorry. Let me go back. So can I sell if I'm behind on the mortgage or if I'm in pre-foreclosure? So can you sell? Great question. So you're stressed out, you're behind, you feel like you got this stack of papers on you. You're like, oh my God, it's in pre-foreclosure, or I'm behind on the mortgage. What do I do? Yes, we can help you. Avoid foreclosure. Number one, you just got to be honest. Hey man, I'm behind on my mortgage. This is what's going on. That's fantastic. Let me know. You can go our site, True Fast Offer. You go to that specifically for property sellers. You go over there, type in the information, fill out the little questionnaire, tell us about what's going on, and we'll see what we can work out. Sometimes we can work out something with the lender if the numbers make sense, or if the numbers don't make sense, see what we can work out. I don't know. Every situation's a little bit different. My ultimate goal is that you get the best deal possible and you can make as much money as possible within reason. Because if we're not making money either, it doesn't make any sense. So we all have to create what I call a win-win-win scenario. It's a win for you. It's a win for us. And then it's also going to be a win for whoever we choose to sell the property to or rent the property to. Next one. I'm downsizing. How can I sell quickly while I'm still getting a fair deal? How do I even know that, right? How do I sell quickly and still want to get a fair deal? So when you're downsizing, I've had this a lot especially in Polk County and other communities, a lot of people are getting older. So they, for myself, I've got a 23-year-old son and a 16-year-old son, right? So my 23-year-old, at the time when I lived in a 5-bedroom, 4-bath home, 4,000 square foot home, that now I do not, when he left, I was like, damn, you got this whole entire section of the house that nobody's there anymore. Why am I in this huge house? And then when life happened and a separation happened, then now I don't have need for all these rooms. I remember one time for 2 years, I didn't even go upstairs. And I was the movie theater room because I was like, why? And so downsizing is a part of life. You just got to be transparent with your situation. Let us know. And then we could see exactly what is the best situation for you. And, can we work out a deal? Does the property need repairs? What's going on? And then we'll take it from there. So also, we will offer you always a fair offer. We're very flexible. Everybody's situation is completely different. If you want to downsize quickly, let us know. And we need to see what is the best deal we could possibly do on the house, because we don't know. We're going to go over the comps. We're going to go over the value. We're going to go over the property needs work. We're going to go over all of it. If you got a piece of land that you need to get rid of or sell, or you're just like, why do I even have this land? This taxes, upkeep, landscaping, this is too much. Doesn't make sense. I need to just move on. Okay, next question. I inherited a property. What's the best way to sell the property? So look, if you inherited the property, now you've got what they call possibly a bloodline, right? So you got brothers, sisters, other relatives that now have this property that you inherited that you got to get rid of, right? So we can help you in the same situation. We deal with this all the time, right? So it means, is your land in good condition? Does it have any kind of studies done with it? What's going on with the home? Is the home in good shape? Does it need repairs? We need to do a walkthrough. We've got to see the property. We've got to evaluate the property. We've got to evaluate the land. And then we can give you a true fast offer because we truly evaluated the property and we know exactly what the value is, and this is what we could potentially do. And here's a real offer, a true offer. And hopefully it's a win-win for everybody. You just got to tell us, what are you looking for? And if you're open-minded with no ego of saying, oh, I just want to make a cajillion dollars, just like yesterday, I talked to this guy, his land is probably worth $600,000 to $700,000. He said, well, I'm not going to sell it, even though he's going broke right now, I'm not going to sell it for no more than 3.5. I said, good luck, because nobody will ever buy that property, ever, period. It's just not going to happen because the numbers don't make sense, right? So remember, in real estate development, especially with land, there's items that you cannot control. The cost of money, you can't control. The cost of construction, you cannot control. The only thing that we can control to make the numbers work is the cost of land. So if you have the cost of land, then we can make something happen. And that's how you just make it a win-win. That's it. So do you really want to sell it or not? That's up to you. What if my home or land has tenants? What's up with that? Well, if you've got tenants, yes, you could sell a rental property with the tenants. A little bit tricky. We got to read, every municipality is a little bit different. We got to read the tenant. We got to read the tenant, the lease agreement that you have, figure out what's going on in the area. And then, we got to make sure that nobody's disturbed. We got to make sure, is the tenant happy? Do we want to keep the tenant? Are you giving us a redheaded stepchild? We don't know. It's totally different. We have no clue. Every situation's different. You just got to be transparent. What's going on? What's the scenario? And it's got to be a win-win. If it's a win-win, we'll work it out. If it's not so much. Tell me what question or answer that really stood out for you the most. Where did you get educated on? What was it that kind of came up for you during the scenario that you're like, frankly, this was awesome. Thanks so much for just your time listening. And we'll meet you on the other side. All right, bye.